Hello race fans and welcome to JACKOCAR Kia Series for the penultimate round of the regular season here in Season 2 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Joined with me once again in the commentary box is your tantalisingly devilish Sullivan Lewis. Don't ask me why I use those words, but I did anyway.
Thanks, Pete. Good evening, everyone. That's throwing me right off. I'm not even started.
Good. Yes, we're off to a fantastic start to our one viewer who's decided to join in. Hopefully it's Jacko. He did say that he might get in the chat. So we'll see.
Yeah, he did indeed.
Maybe Davis as well.
Welcome back then to what is our Kia series. So this is obviously the second tier on a Tuesday night, as you are all aware. We are in the penultimate round of the first part of the season, I guess you call it, the actual main season before we head into our playoff round. And sort to play for a few of these drivers, with a few drivers with those wins already confirmed.
Yeah, and interestingly, six rounds down, and each one has had a different driver win. So 6 different winners in 6 races. Hopefully we can get a 7th, and that would be an emphatic start, or emphatic way to go this season. No outlier driving the championship at the moment. Maybe Splinter, because of his consistency, but only 1 win to his name, but leading the championship. 16 drivers, I am aware we are missing at least 1, which is Jake, who unfortunately is not well or is in hospital at the moment. So we all send our best wishes to him. Hopefully he can tune in as well. He's already qualified, of course, so if he returns back to the track on the grid, he's already ready for the playoffs.
He is indeed. He's got all of a good chance of getting into that Championship 5, along with the top 10 who get into the playoffs and the 1 chase driver. So the 5 drivers that have won a race and are already advanced into the playoffs are Jamie Bromley or Splinter, Gareth Hall, Yuri or Speed Y Racer, Jake, as we mentioned, and Cameron or Camo Babo. And that is the top 5 order as well. So from 6th to 10th then, yet to get a race win, but just about in the playoffs. We've got Danny Quinn, or Speed Quinn, Bazza or Barry, Chris, which is Cloud, Niels, and Indecisive or Matt. So they are your top 10 for now. Jess is just below on the cut-off. She is 13 points back from the playoff positions. Then underneath comes Bill, Matt or Newgarden, then Liam, or what's his PSN name? Evil Dragon. That's it. Yep. Then comes Noah, Waze, Isaac, which is Kingjan.
Correct.
Yep. Andy, Lincoln, and then Kia all the way in 19th. TBC. So there is still a spot if anybody was interested in joining in, as we look to have a sunny qualifying.
Yeah, just a quick note. Sam mentioned it in the chat, Sully. Your mic is buzzing quite significantly. I can hear it as well. Well, that's just a static issue in your controller.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, it was quite loud. Now it's not, but hopefully it can be fixed. Luckily, we're not being judged on our commentary performance like we are in One Hub. We can have these technical difficulties and not be slewed for it for not being professional enough. But yeah. 6 wins, 6 different drivers, 2 rounds to go. Could get 8 out of 8, but that will seal 8 positions in the playoffs. However, Connor, after dropping out, gives a position in the playoffs, gives someone who's outside the playoffs an opportunity to sneak in. For example, with Connor dropping out and not being in the standings with his win in Monaco, that was Joker. It invites Matry or Indecisive to slot in 10th place. And yeah, the gap inside and outside the playoffs is quite significant, as Sully mentioned. However, a race win does give you automatic promotion, and that could give anyone who needs a win or is significantly down on points compared to indecisive, such as say your Noah, your Waze, your Isaac. They can still get through on points, but a win would be more of a safe thing for them to get through. Andy and Kaya both are on a must-win scenario to make it through now. They cannot qualify without winning. They are below the threshold on points. 30 points left for anyone in the final two races who finish second, because obviously if you win, you automatically go through. Sully, are we back?
I think I am back.
You are, and there's no buzzing. That's great. Maybe there is,
yeah.
but it's not loud, and I can always turn you down if it's overpowering.
I think there is a slight buzzing, but that's because my microphone is very old and due a new one, but I've hopefully toned it down a little bit as we see Kia out on track first in a green and whatever colour that is. I think it's purple, but I can't quite tell with the lights. Might be, purpley-ish.
Yeah,
very dark.
Green. You always turn French in chat. They're saying Allez le bleu. Allez les bleus. We are not French. And we're not even racing at France. And we don't even have a French driver. Maybe. Maybe next season. Who knows?
So, a lot of the drivers in chat as well, by the way, just worth a mention, we're looking at TT times. A lot of them are saying 39, low 39s are what they were setting. And then we know, I think the track's a little bit quicker in the multiplayer lobby. Maybe not too much, but maybe looking towards the mid 38s if they can get there. But we'll see as this session goes on, as Kia starts his lap. Oh, he hits the wall.
He's got wing damage.
His front wing gone. He's going to have to try and set a lap anyway.
Yeah, it's not going to be the quickest. There's not many places around that he's going to go slowly. Does he just dive into the pits? No, he decides to stay out. 38.9 for pole. Reminded Sam. Yeah, Sam's predicting a 38.9 for pole position. Track evolution's actually quite key round here, but track evolution's a lot better when everyone's out on track setting lap times continuously. More rubber gets laid down, but when each driver's only setting one lap at a time, not a lot of rubber goes down, and whoever's out last in qualifying gets the best conditions.
So not the start that Kia would have wanted to his lap, as we've got a few people coming out now, but he is going to abide by the rules. You have to do an out lap, a fast lap and an in lap, and you can do no more than that. So obviously he'll set his lap and then come into the pits, but at least he'll get that lap on the board, so if anybody is to retire or invalidate, he will start a little bit further ahead, but maybe the mid-pack's not where you want to be going into turn one. Who knows?
Yeah, very short run, even though it's one of the longest, we'll say straights, even though it's got a couple of corners. One of the longest straights on the calendar. The run down to turn one is actually very small. Not many opportunities to overtake at the start, but when the pack's bunched up, there's always an opening up the inside sometimes. But you've got to be very careful with simulation damage through the fast, technically right, left, right. And Kai's going to set our first time on the board. Not going to be the quickest, but it's valid. He did have a very slow run down towards turn one at the start of lap 49.4. First time on the board. Up next is
Kingdon. We both went to look.
Thing is, the silence was there, and I was like, "Come on, Risky, please introduce the next driver," but without saying anything. And then it was quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden we decided to speak at the same time. But yeah, Kingdon next, not in great form in Jacko or One Hub, as a matter of fact.
Can he stick this on? Well, it's going to be provisional pole, but will this be a competitive time? He's one of the earliest drivers to set a lap, so Track Evolution is not going to be on his side, but if you can get a good lap together, then it will benefit you. You have a yellow flag, that's a green card. That's Kia, retired Kia at the castle section.
Yeah, the car's not going to go, so there's a car going there, but it's not on a lap. 41-2 for Kingjin then. He's made me not forget now. He's got the Swedish colours on his car, so therefore I could never forget which Scandinavian country he is from. Next is Waze. Who may have been the driver that could have been held up by that crash by Kaya in the castle. Hopefully the car disappeared before he got there, because cars don't ghost. We have no ghosting to make it a little bit more realistic for drivers. But Waze, out of form as well, but I heard he got pole position in One Hub Prospect. Can he snatch well pole position here in Baku, DRS Open? This is where all the overtakes are going to be, down towards turn 1 realistically, up to the line. Fastest of everyone, 41 dead. People were predicting a 39 or Sam a 38.9. We're edging closer, but it's going to take a bit of doing.
It will take a bit of doing, but like you said, Track Evolution will come down. Well, you'd like to hope we'll bring those times down. We are still probably, 2 seconds off that time, so obviously I know when Cup Series, as Kingjin nearly had a bit of a spin on his way back to the pits. Noah Clark goes 40.9, so that's quickest of all. Yeah, when we did Cup Series before the patch, it was, we were setting 36, 37s, and obviously the patch came, slowed us all right down, so we could even see, might not even break into the 39s if the patch has slowed the game down. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you get the gist.
Yeah, I get the gist, just about. Evil Dragon next, in his very yellow Formula 1 car. Currently outside the playoffs. I think he was on for a really good result at, I think it was Italy or somewhere, and it went horribly wrong. He was on for a podium, on for a good result, maybe even the win. But he's showing his pace in this late stage of the season. P1 at the moment and a 40.7, and we're just slowly creeping down on the time at the moment, 10th by 10th. As next is Newgarden coming through the castle.
Can Newgarden then go provisional pole? Looks like he's had a relatively clean lap so far. Took a little bit too much curb there, but shouldn't have lost him too much time. Nicely done then through essentially the final braking zone. Well, what is the final braking zone? Because then it's flat, maybe a little lift in the race, but qualifying for sure, definitely flat. Shift up to 8th gear, and then your DRS comes just now. There's the line, it's the second line on the track. You just straight lined all the way, taking the quickest way. P4 for Newgarden, then a 41 flat. So maybe we won't see the the faster laps of the 139s in this session. Maybe the drivers are either being a bit cautious, or maybe just seeing the way of this game, because I haven't really done much.
Wow, Bill, you're crazy. Bill, you're crazy. Okay. You're absolutely crazy. He absolutely shredded his front wing on the exit of technically the final corner. The right-hander leading onto the straight absolutely pounded the wall. Very lucky not to lose a wheel. Shattered his whole front wing, and then shattered the lap times already set so far by nearly a second. Bill, you're crazy. Don't do that in a race, though. Please don't. Up next is Jess. Pink and yellow.
Was me going, we'll never get a 39.8, and then there we go. It's a 39.8.
Yeah. Up next is Jess. I believe no jokers today, so everyone on the 2-stop. Jess, not feeling the most confident round here with her lap time pace, but 43 dead is a valid lap time. Currently not slowest of time set, but 7th in the standings. Neil's in his pink racing point once again, whether he's remembered to change it or not. Very, very eager was Niels over the week's break. Popped up in chat on a Tuesday afternoon and was like, aren't there supposed to be invites or anything? Or evening? Where's the invites? Bill cheated there, no front wing means no drag. Well, maybe he did cheat, maybe he didn't. But Niels, one of 2 Dutchmen on the grid. Looking to solidify his position in the playoffs. He's currently 9th. He has a 16-point gap. So realistically, he just wants to score, I don't know, 14 points. A 2nd place would do him pretty nicely. No, a 3rd place would do him nicely. Would guarantee him a spot in the playoffs. Then again, we could see him win and disrupt the whole order. Around the final corner. I do love this track. This is one of my favourite tracks to race around, although I do seem to bottle it. But if you keep your head cool between the barriers, you can have some blistering pace. What can Niels do? Callum complaining in chat that Bill had a better drag system down the straight with no front wing, and could have been the reason. Bill's been doing some research and managed to is still in pole position, and that's by 7/10 now as Neil slots himself on the front row.
Cloud. Will Cloud be next across the line? Or...
Yeah, Cloud's
Cloud
coming
next
to
across the line.
Yeah. Yellow and blue in the playoffs at the moment with a decent points gap as well, 20 points, so only needs 10 points and currently sits P2. I don't think there'll be a serious inquiry about Bill's front wing. Maybe he picked up damage earlier in the lap and just understeered wide. Could have been the issue. Bazza is next in his Brawn GP. I don't think Brawn never touched the streets of Baku. What can Bazza do? Imagine if 2009 cars were going around this track.
That would be amazing.
We have done it. It has been done with the classic cars last game with the Brawn GP. What can Bazza do? P10 at the moment. Everyone choosing soft tyres. Speed Quinn is next through the castle, nice and clean. Castle's one of those corners where if you've got to attack it as much as you dare, because it's such a tight section of the track. You gain and lose so much time either way, depending on how you attack it. Don't really want to be attacking that inside curb there, because it really bounces the car. And with the damage model now including floor and underbody damage, you don't really want to be riding over it. What can Quinn do? Has some decent pace. Looking fiery in TT, but just can't put the form together in the race. To the line, does this beat Bill? It doesn't, you know, but it is a 40 dead ahead of Cloud. So Bill just done an incredible lap. Let's see what Kamababo can do.
Bill's lap was significantly quicker. And you do wonder if it did have anything to do with having no wing down the straight, but...
Check the final sector times. That'll be the best way to compare.
I will. I'll have a quick look at sector times now.
But then again, it's all about the exit of the final braking corner at the start of sector 3, technically. But yeah, that's a decent lap time from Bill. Maybe he's just been practicing. Bill is in a position where he probably does need to win. 15 points off the drop. And what can Kamababa do? So 40.1 should I say. So no one else has broken into 39s yet, but it's quite close between second and fourth.
Yeah, Bill's time as well, by the way. His third sector was slower than Quinn's. It's just the first two sectors, he just had that little bit more pace. So if he didn't lose his wing, I imagine he would have been even faster. So obviously, fair play to Bill for getting the qualifying practice in, because that was a really good lap time, especially for the part of the session that he did it in.
Yeah.
But Yuri, then, I think, is going to be next.
He is. He's coming to the final sector. 1 minute 15 for total 2 sectors. Purple allegedly according to the map. But the Dutchman already through to the playoffs with his win in Monza. Win at Monza. He's seen up the order quite a lot. Was knocked from pole position at Silverstone last week. Can he snatch it this time? And Quinn has beaten him again, and the gap between the two speed drivers again is pretty close. And Yuri is not going to be happy about that once again.
He isn't. But it's going to be a nice little run into turn one with those two fighting side by side, unless we see the likes of Gareth or Splinter split them.
Yeah,
Gareth then coming to finish his lap.
Missed last week at Silverstone, but already qualified with his Joker win. No, it was Silverstone. Where did they raise babies to that? Because I remember Gareth winning Joker at Silverstone.
Yeah, Gareth did.
What was the race before the holidays? I forgot.
Canada.
Gareth goes P8. Canada.
Canada was the last race, I believe.
I'm going to check the calendar. I was leaving that. Yeah, it was Canada.
Yes, it was, because remember, Yuri had all those penalties, and then...
Never mind. It was Silverstone 1 hub that Quinn pipped Yuri to a pole position. And that was last Friday, so yeah. Both.
You were right, but wrong league. But no, there's a good little rivalry between JACKOCAR and 1 hub. I'm sure nobody will mind.
Yeah. Final driver to set a time then will be our championship leader. A man whose form is, I think it's like top 3 or bust, considering his DNF in Italy. But championship leader will want to secure regular season champion because you get so many more playoff points for the next round. But can he snatch another pole position, this time away from Bill, as he did at Silverstone? And it is pole position. And it's a 39.6 from Splinter. And he is on pole position for round 7. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Good lap, that.
Yeah, very good lap. 3 times, I think, Splinter has started pole and finished second, or something similar to that. I didn't get time to do many stats like that, but I'm hoping to get the stats done before playoffs, so we'll get some extra stats for the playoff rounds. But yeah, Splinter's had some good form. Again, like you said, top 3 or bust consistent, and always gets the strategy right. Obviously, mandatory 2-stop. He tends to pit quite early, so watch out for that one.
According to the chat, Bill messed up at the castle as well, so he lost a lot of time at the end of the second sector and the final sector. So we could have seen Bill on pole position. But it's your championship leader showing his form once again. He's on pole position in Splinter ahead of Bill, as it was at Silverstone. But this time, Bill is not on a Joker. They're both on the same strategy. It's a speed 3-4 with Quinn ahead of Yuri, separated by 0.08 of a second. Then we've got Cloud and Camababo 5th and 6th. Niels, Evil Dragon, Gareth and Noah round out your top 10. Everyone on fresh tyres will be Waze, Newgarden, Kingen, Jess, Baza, Kaya, and Indecisive was the only driver not to set a time. He either missed his slot or missed something in the stewards chat.
So then, the grid's set, and the race is very, very nearly about to begin. Do you think we'll see any wet weather? It looks pretty dry for the minute.
No one said anything in chat, so I assume completely dry. So strategy for you, the best strategy and this is coming from what I did in VSL Baku. I started at 17th, and by the time I finished my 2 stops, I was 2nd, because the undercut is disgusting if you start on the right tyre. So it'd be soft, medium, medium. If you're listening and you're in the race, soft, medium, medium is your best strategy. You don't want to be on the softs that long, but with the grid being so close together, simulation damage, and it is Baku, after all, we're expected to see a safety car at lap 1. However, we've got to be on our toes because there is no formation lap, so we don't get to have a look at strategies or liveries. So here come the 5 red lights then. Splinter on our left, Bill on our right, and boogity, 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 let's go racing. Decent start from Splinter, but I think Bill might have him into turn 1. They're side by side. Splinter tries to turn in, but Bill has the lead off the start. Yuri and Cloud going side by side further back, but I don't think there's been significant damage. I know Needgarden's dropped a few positions. He's down into 13th, a little bit loose from Cloud out of turn 2. A little bit of contact behind. I see a driver gun down the escape road. That's Kaya, and he's at the back. Jess in 16th as well. Not a great start for her, although I think she hasn't lost that many positions as Bill is loose out of turn 3.
Yeah, and there's a wing of Noah. Splinter backwards and Bazza into the side of Splinter. Just as I switched onto that absolute carnage, so Splinter had spawned. Bazza went into the side.
Nugon's got to be very careful here not to drive backwards. He was involved in that as well. He's got no front wing. Why haven't we got a safety car? Is safety car been turned on? There we go. There's a VSC. Oh, Nugon and Bazza have got... Bazza's not even in the race anymore, and Nugon's got a penalty that he's going to have to serve. And it's a full course caution, as it should be, because of the debris. They're on track.
Yeah, so just saying, that incident, I think Splinter was spawned on the inside, so he'd clearly lost the back end, and then Bazza collected him, which created a bit of a mess for that. Because I was just going to point out that Noah up in P9 has no front wing either, so he'd lost his front wing in a previous battle. Don't know how that occurred. So we're going to see Noah come into the pits, but that will be legal. We're going to see Newgarden come into the pits, and that's definitely legal. And Indecisive come into the pits, and that's also legal, because those 3 do not have front wings at all.
Yes. Visually, they don't, and I'm pretty sure they don't either, because they'd be going a lot quicker. I'm pretty sure they won't need to submit footage to make a pit stop, because it's clear right there that they've got no front wing at all. I was on board, Callum, I was on board with Bill. I had a nice view of the chasing pack, and then I didn't expect a Splinter to spin. It's one of those ones where it was unexpected. But yeah. Has Kai got damaged? Kai's in the pits.
I didn't. He's got some damage, but I don't know if it's full wing damage. We'll see when he gets that wing taken off. Kai will have to
submit footage.
Show that footage, yes, for sure.
You went really posh there.
I did, yeah. Don't know where that came from.
Callum getting arsey in the chat. Excuse me. I'm going to stay on board with Bill now.
Oh, naughty Pete. Be a better cameraman.
I was watching Bill because he was quite loose out of a couple of corners, so I thought he was going to spin. I didn't expect Splinter to spin.
Just one of those things that happens, I guess. But yeah, so Bill, P1 then, retained that lead of his, but Quinn and Yuri now second and third, so they've sort of retained position but moved up because of Splinter's spin.
Did Evil Dragon have wing damage? He made a pit stop as well.
That is also something that will have to be checked.
Yes. So we can confirm that Indecisive, Newgarden and Noah all had no front wings. Yeah, come on, Callum. I dare ya. I dare ya. Can't wait. Can't wait. But yeah, safety car. As we know, no one can pit, otherwise I'm pretty sure everyone who started on the softs would have pit. Jess on the mediums, one of the few to start. Didn't get to see who else started on the mediums because we had such a hectic start that I didn't have time to bring up the menus on all the graphics because no formation lap. I think we should implement formation lap back because it should be fixed. Now, what is taking the rest of the field? Oh, it's just a straight. New Garden and Indecisive are taking their sweet time to catch up. I know New Garden was backwards.
Both these, I was going to say, both these drivers were stuck behind that car of Bazza, so. But they will catch up, and penalties will have been served, so they're in good positions.
Callum, Yes, what do you want, Callum? You haven't sent me a message. You haven't sent me a message.
So then, the top
Wait,
9 now
what
all
is
still on
that?
the softs.
What is that in my comments? I've got a fucking bot or something in my comment section, so that's great.
Oh yeah, I also see that.
So that's fun. Anyone in chat, please report that. Dare ya. Odds on, Sam, pressing the link. There's one.
Oh, it's always funny kid series when there's a safety car out, but yeah, a bit more racing action to come then. With our top 9 all on the softs, so they're all going to have to make their first stops a little bit sooner than all of those that have pit. And then, of course, Jess, she's the only one to not pit on the medium tyres, I believe.
Couldn't pit anyway, but I think she kept out of trouble, luckily. Safety car in. No, Davis. No, we're not. No chat. PG channel. Right, we're going to get the restart underway. Bill's going to have the restart. He is experienced in this, did it at Silverstone. Got it wrong though, I think, in one occasion and got penalised for it. So can he get it right this time? Keeping very close to the safety car. Huge crash incoming. We'll see. So safety car restarts are on the start-finish line. There it is, and that's pretty good from Bill. And Quinn has been absolutely swamped and going to lose 3 or 4 positions as Kingdom goes extremely deep into turn 1. Takes himself out. Is he going to get collected? He does by one driver. That's Kaya out of the Grand Prix. Yeah. And Yuri up to second. Will that be another safety car? Sam, you called it. Kingdom went extremely deep into turn 1. I don't know whether he's got any damage, but it's 3 wide and it was never going to work. Yuri was on the outside. Cloud sandwiched. Speed Quinn got absolutely destroyed off the restart.
There's contact a little bit further back. Sorry to cut you in there. Niels was squeezed between Gareth and the wall. Niels now has no front wing whatsoever, so a lot of debris on the track. And then anyone behind Niels is going to really struggle. There's a bit of a car park through the middle sector. A few drivers, going very, very slowly indeed.
Yes, thank you, Sam, for pointing that out. Sully, what tyres is Evil Dragon on?
Oh wow.
Liam,
that's probably
I think some words might be had for your choice of tyre. As Neil starts losing positions left, right and centre. Quite a good restart for Bill as Gareth loses all his front wing on the exit of one of the final corners. He's going to be taking a trip to the pit lane, and here we have our second safety car, and we're only 4 laps in.
Evil Dragon on the inters is reversing. What are you doing? Turn 8, and he's just got the inters on. This is Crew Chandog's down there shouting at Croffy. He's like, there's rain in the air.
Rain in the air? I don't see it. Don't know whether his game's glitched, but so Gareth and Niels should legally pit. None of them have got front wing. That's really going to help them. Evil Dragon's retired. He's crashed, I think.
Well, that. I mean,
I would have
that's one way
said,
to go.
I would have said, pit anyway, because being on Inters is worse than anything else. Why is Clark taking so long? Did he have a 5 second? He did. Soft tyres. That's an interesting choice. That's his second pit stop, by the way. I think he should have gone on hards, personally, because he could have gone to the end.
Yeah, but if he's decided to go a little bit racy, hasn't he, to just sort of maybe make up those extra positions, and then when everybody else comes in, then I suppose he could put the hards on and go to the end. So he's naturally maybe got himself a little bit of a good strategy, but the mediums of Gareth and Niels will be the better tyre, obviously, later in the race. Newgarden looking good. 2 lap of mediums, already made 1 stop, and up to P7 with what looks like a full front wing.
Yeah, so he started on mediums, one of the drivers outside who did, along with Indecisive. Both of them have already made 1 stop. Newgarden's gone on to fresh mediums and Indecisive hards. Another driver who started on mediums was Kaya. He's unfortunately out now. Is he out of the Grand Prix? I think he is. On mediums, he did his 2 stops. I don't know why either driver went on Inters. Noah Clark did start on softs, so I am very confused why he decides to go on softs for final stint when he could easily go on to hards that would go to the end.
I mean, I do agree with you, but I also can see why he's sort of not done that. But
If anything, I would probably go on mediums, because then that gives you an opportunity if there's more safety cars and you keep yourself out of trouble. You can use those safety car laps as you would do now to nurse the tyres to the end.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be an interesting strategy, definitely. But I'm going to wait and see. Evil Dragon said in the chat that his game glitched out, so that's clearly why he had the inters on.
Whee! Great banter in the chat. If I'm on Callum's list at 8:30, you're on mine. Dun dun dun.
The banter in
Cloud,
the chat has come out,
leaving a little bit of a gap between him and Quinn for some reason.
well, you're advised, aren't you? That's under a new rule regulation that was imported.
But sometimes, yeah, sometimes though, it can tell you to catch back up to the safety car queue because you've left the gap too big.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, so what? 2 safety cars, 6 laps in, 20 laps to go at the end of this one. Could be here for a while.
Yeah, we've barely had a full green flag lap. In fact, I don't think we have. I think they've all been safety car.
So safety car should be in this lap.
Why do we always do this? I always end up trying.
Just...
I'd come back and then you just start waffling.
We sit in massive silence. Yeah.
Well, I had a reason. I was having a drink and taking some paracetamol because I got mad toothache. But safety car in this lap. Will Quinn have the jump this time? Will he not doze off on the restart? Can Yuri get into the lead? Can Cloud recover his attempt to get by Quinn, which was hindered by Kington, who's down in 9th, who I'm very surprised doesn't have any damage. Cloud needs to be very careful because that gap that he's left is not allowed anymore. You shouldn't leave a massive gap between you and the rest of the drivers, but everyone's going incredibly slowly. Bill slowed it right down as everyone bunches up as we start to go green flag running once again. That was the finish line. And in towards turn 1 they go quite slowly, but it's a little bit of drama further behind, side by side, between Waze and Quinn. Waze got squeezed out, maybe go for another dive. Cloud loses position to Kamababo, and Indecisive and Jess swap positions. I think Jess has had a bit of contact has lost the back of the pack as they run down towards turn 3.
Yeah, there's a bit of contact as well of Cloud on Camo Babo. Not loads, but I think Camo broke that a little bit earlier, and Cloud did end up in the back of him, but not sure if there's any damage, maybe slight damage, but yeah, Newgarden was all over the back of Cloud for a very brief period as well. Waze as well looked to be struggling a little bit with the back end through that middle sector, through the slower speed corners. He just hasn't quite got the rear end grip that he'd like, and allowing these front three to pull away. Oof.
Don't go side by side through the castle. Waze are gonna do it. They've caused a collision.
That's why you don't.
Luckily, there is a gap that everyone has managed to sneak around, and there's your third safety car. Did anyone manage to get into the pits? Nope, they didn't even make it round to the final sector. This is going to be horrific for everyone who started on the soft tyres, but I'm not sure what Waze and Kamababa were thinking there.
I'm not either, but it means Waze gets a free pit stop, essentially, because he can pit. Waze does have wing damage for definite.
Yeah, he's got no front wing.
I think Newgarden did make contact because he was the car behind these two, Newgarden and Cloud. Sorry, but I don't know.
They snuck through. They both snuck through a gap.
I think they will get away with it. And I know Waze caused that incident, but
I think they both
there's
did.
going to be a penalty coming there.
Maybe Waze should have backed out considering he went deep. Yeah, the angle was never going to work into that corner. If you're not going to give each other respect and space, you're not going to go side by side to the castle. Newgarden, however, in a very strong position. Oh, wow. I've just seen the video Callum sent me in chat. Apparently I did catch Splinter's spin. It was on stream. But I was too busy paying attention to the timing board and to Bill losing the back end. Indecisive in the pits again. That's his second stop.
I'm not actually sure how legal that one was. I know he got damage from that. But really, I'm not sure. A few drivers complaining about Waze's standard of conduct out on track, so I'm sure there'll be a few
Waze didn't
reports.
pit. Why didn't he pit?
I don't know, but he doesn't have a front wing.
Waze not realising that just because it's a safety car doesn't mean you can't pit. Well, it does, but you've got the damage to pit. So get yourself in the pits.
Yeah, it's an interesting one that he's not pit, because he can pit. He's got no front wing. He should know that he can't.
Stay out. Yeah, it's too dangerous to stay out. Interesting. Niels and him have both got 5-second penalties. Niels, however, has made a pit stop. Noah has made 2, but is on soft tyres. Yes, this is going to help, but he definitely will make another stop. Indecisive has made 2 as well. Mediums, I'm not sure will go to the end. Although I have done a 10-16 stint. Maybe a few more safety cars. There's only 2 more left to be, in fact. Only 2 more safety cars to help Indecisive get to the end on those mediums. We've got to find out whether his second stop was legal as well, as he came out of the pits on the safety car.
So there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers no longer in this race. It started with 17 down to 12, and one of those drivers DNF'd on the intermediate tyres. So, kind of shows you how well this race is going.
I've just realised Kamababo's out.
Yeah, Kamababo I think died on. Well, he didn't die on impact. He retired on impact. I think he went straight into the wall, and Waze managed to somehow survive.
Oh yeah, of course. And yeah. Excuse me while my brain forgets to work. I was like, well, how is Karababa out of the race? Well, he did crash with Waze, and we were talking about him for 5 minutes.
That's why I said there'll be a
I blame this
incident
2-week
report
break. I blame this 2-week break. Even though I have been commentating in one hub, I blame the 2-week break.
Yeah. Get your excuse out of it. But yeah, these drivers, by the way, that started on the soft tyres, 8-lap old tyres. I mean, they can't be too old because of the amount of yellow flag running they've done. But the likes of Newgarden on 6-lap old mediums, which is going to be fresh and just a little bit ready to go, will be better. As Yuri has
spun on the safety car.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed. And he's got half a front wing. Yeah, so he won't be pitting. And he's going to be at the back with half a front wing. And he's one of the drivers yet to make a pit stop. It has to be red one side or full orange. To me, that looks half orange. Safety car in this lap.
He has to do one. Unless it is half orange, you will have to do one lap.
No, it's half red. It's half red. Full orange or half red.
He'll have to do one full green flag lap.
Bill, for the third time in a row. Sorry, Visky.
That's all right.
He's going to go for a restart.
Say the same thing.
Yeah, he's going to go for a restart. Cloud giving a massive gap. Needs to be very careful here because I mentioned it last time. Has to close the gap up. Has to be very close on the restart. Can't leave it that wide. But Bill doing what he did again, slowing down. He's barely putting any power down. But it's going to be fourth gear on the restart. And he goes now. Quinn tried to get him. And Kingdon, don't make it twice in a row. He's gone up the inside of Cloud into turn one and another safety car restart. But I think this time he's got it done cleanly. Kingdon now into third place, but one of the 4-5 drivers yet to make a pit stop as Waze causes carnage at turn 2 because he didn't make a pit stop.
He broke so deep. Obviously, without that front wing, nearly took out the likes of Newgarden and Clark. And Niels for good measure. As Niels and Clark are side by side, Niels is going to get down the inside and make that move stick. But yeah, these guys on the mediums are just biding their time a little bit. But the soft runners of the top 4, you got to be still got to watch out for, because these guys are either going to pull away or lose the grip and then fall into the clasps of the medium runners.
Yeah, Newgarden's lost position as well because he was the leading runner on the one stop that he's done so far. Gareth's got ahead of him. Gareth clouted a wall under his own accord to give himself his wing damage, but he's going to have 3-lap pressure tyres than Newgarden, but Newgarden's very good on tyre preservation. But Gareth is getting very feisty. Those mediums are the tyres to be on now. Can we get one full green flag running lap? Here we go then. Will Bill pit, or will we get another safety car? And these drivers are going to be fuming.
They've got a pit, surely. These soft runners, they're having to lift through the final few corners just because of the lack of rear grip. So,
Niels is out.
Niels into the pits. Bill is committed. It's a safety car, so Bill has got that perfect. Oh, Quinn, I don't know, Kingdon, that's not committed.
Yuri's hit Newgarden.
So Bill had 100% committed, and Bill was safely in the pits. Quinn was borderline, but Kingdon, I really don't think.
We're going to have to see, because this was a scenario in the JACKOCAR Cup Series race. And if you were committed to the left, and you were in the white lines that lead into the pit lane, that counted as committed. So we'll have to see... Quinn's line into the pit. We're going to have to see Kingdon's, and we're going to have to see who else pit. Just
Quinn. Did you say Quinn?
Yeah, I said Quinn, said Kingdon. No one else pit. Waze.
Yeah,
Waze pit anyway because he was already causing carnage. 11 runners left. Drive through for speeding on the safety car for our race leader. Oops.
Dear.
I saw Newgarden fell down the order as well. I think he might have been collected. Wait, Gareth's overtaken the safety car. Gareth, why have you overtaken the safety car? No, you haven't overtaken the safety car. No, it hasn't. It's Waze. Never mind. I thought Gareth had overtaken the safety car.
Apparently Waze's MFD told him his front wing was only orange. Or yellow, sorry.
Oh. No fair play for sticking it out. But on my screens, it looked completely shattered. Oh, Yuri's out. Oh, Yuri.
Is that another incident on the
In
safety
the
car?
safety car. You're under safety car, man. That's twice now you've spun. And this time you've paid the price. And you're going to get no points. Because when you don't finish now, it forces you to finish a race. And no points for you.
So then, down to 10 runners in this grid. We've lost 7 of our drivers. And we're only on lap 12, not even halfway through yet. As the safety car, Gareth gets picked up by the safety car now.
I want to say well done, Baku, but not really. I know we had a 2-week break, but come on.
Baku was always going to be one of those races that either is going to provide a really, really good race or a really, really chaotic race. Now we're going to have, this is our 4th safety car. There is room for one more safety car, I believe.
Yeah, one more full course
course
caution and plenty of VSCs. But
So
I think once the 5th one's gone, I'm pretty sure you're not likely to get a VSC at all. Because when a VSC comes out, there's a chance for a safety car. So I think one more safety car and it's green flag running or bust. You crash. It's your own fault. You should have crashed. We actually didn't manage to get one green flag running lap either because Bill hadn't crossed the finish line. He was entering the pits. It's remarkable.
it is remarkable. It really, really is.
Cloud's not going to be happy. Jess not going to be happy either. Both still need to make a pit stop. It's good job I'm not racing because the TV was about to go on standby. We're running out of drivers to nominate for driver of the day as well. The less and less people finish.
Imagine a no car finish. What happens if nobody finishes? Does nobody get points?
Honestly, if there's 3 people left in the race and you crash, what are you doing?
Yeah, that is awesome.
What is wrong with you to be crashing when there's only 3 people? But we're going to get under green flag running once again. This time it's going to be Gareth leading the way. However, he does have a drive-through. I'm pretty sure you can't follow the safety car in anyway. I think you still have to do one green flag, even if you got a drive-through. You have to do one green flag with a running lap. Gareth on those mediums is going to get a nice launch. Jacko's finally turned up. You're too late, mate. It's already happened. Carnage has already ensued on the track. Gareth's going to get us on the way. There's the finish line. Gareth's still not gone. Well, that's Gareth's fault.
I don't think he knew where the finish line was.
Well, side by side between Gareth and Noah, who's on those soft tyres, a little bit of contact. And I think there's another driver in the wall. That is... Kingdon is in the wall on those fresh mediums. Someone who was on for a good result. Clouds being swamped by the drivers on fresher tyres. 12 lap olds he's taken them. Needs to make a pit stop and probably should get the opportunity this time as side by side. That's a late lunge on the inside of Bill, who's made up ground off the restart from 5th. Quinn, however, not so lucky, going side by side between
there.
Indecisive in ways we're going side by side. Newgarden takes advantage.
Yeah, and Quinn, as you were saying that, into the back of Cloud again. So Quinn's got
damage.
A missing end plate there, so he's going to be struggling. Cloud almost ties, he's going to be struggling.
No, he's got damage as well. So's Waze. Waze has got wing damage as well. Newgarden's got a clean wing. Indecisive clean at the moment. No wing for Kingdon. And Jess, who is still yet to make a pit stop, should be doing it at the end of this lap, has still got a full front wing. So this is going to hurt Gareth a little bit with his drive-through.
Oh, side by side, just because that was Bill diving down the inside. That's Bill out of this race. He just outbroke himself completely, had to go over the curb and just into the side of Noah, I think it was, and his car is now bouncing across the track in a sort of weird motion, but all the drivers have got past, and I think that car will be cleared up. But yeah, he just outbroke himself completely into the side of Noah and could not slow down in time. But this is now essentially Noah's race to lose. He's the only one that has made 2 stops. However, he probably won't take the softs to the end.
I'm a bit confused. I know the drivers were, I think, Waze, Quinn, and Cloud were all desperate for a safety car not to come out because they all had wing damage. However, Waze and Quinn just didn't bother pitting. Haven't bothered. On our screens, you've got damage, fellas. Maybe you don't, but surely you would have made a pit stop because even the smallest amount of damage around here is significant to your race pace. Newgarden makes a pit stop onto the hard tyres because he started on mediums, has to go hards to the end. Cloud, first pit stop completed, and medium tyres for him, could go softs for his final stint. Kingdon on his final stint as well, mediums to the end, and same, well, not same for Jess, she's on her second stint. Could have maybe done 2 sets of softs, but it's going to be medium soft to the end.
Indecisive could win this race. Up
Could.
14 positions, made 2 stops on the mediums that will go through the end. All he has to do is defend from the likes of Gareth and Noah behind. Gareth has to pit again, so he just has to defend from Noah, and then Newgarden and Kingdon, they're that little bit further behind.
Yes, this is going to be crucial now for the rest of the race. Hoping that there's no... Oh, Newgarden.
Flag. It's Newgarden.
Newgarden.
He's
Backwards
as well.
Oh,
don't spin it round there.
Kingdon's coming into this section of the track. He's got to be very careful. Where's Newgarden? Oh, he's there.
Here comes
He's hugging
Jess.
that wall. Jess sees the yellow flags and surely sees the car on track. Waze player car. Well, it's never said that. Why does it say mediums and player car? DRS finally enabled. We've had 15 laps of racing. It's been dry throughout. And we finally got DRS enabled, and we might see some overtaking. Quinn finally comes into the pits to change his front wing. Indecisive up to second place. Waze has still got to make one more stop, and he's probably just going to hack it out. Yellow flag, it's Newgarden again, and he's out for the Grand Prix. That leaves 8 remaining. Will that be a full course caution safety car? Quinn comes out the pits. The field is really spread out now, so this is going to be a really interesting fight to the end.
Could be the most boring end to a race we've had in this Kia series. We tend to get quite exciting finishes, and this time that might not happen, but no safety car as of yet. We've got Waze, Gareth, Cloud, and Jess, so we're yet to pit. So as it stands, Indecisive is your net race leader.
Interestingly as well, Noah decided to go on the hard tyres as well for his third pit stop. Could have done mediums, but the hards will definitely go to the end. And Noah Clark, as well as Indecisive, are a threat for victory. Both of them sit in a position where a win could be very crucial. Indecisive is in 10th, but is under threat from being knocked out with you being in 10th place. Noah. Oh, Noah, I was just about to shout praise on you. What have you done, Noah? Is that a safety car?
Oh,
What does Indecisive? What does Cloud do?
Right on the racing line.
Yep. Both Cloud and Quinn miss it. What does Kingdon do? Hopefully he sees him, but will he disappear? No safety car for that. It's gone. I was about to praise Noah. With him being so far down in the championship standings, we'll get him back up again. Yeah, Noah. Where is Noah's name? Noah down in 15th, 23 points adrift, and the win could have been incredibly...
Oh, that's Kingdon gone as well. Sorry, Pete. As you said that, just the back end has snapped on him. Down to 6 runners in this race, and let's hope Jess avoids him, because Kingdon is in the middle of the track in the final sector.
How has he lost it in the straight?
He
Kingdon,
threw the right-hander on the curb and he slid it up against the wall.
Yeah, Jess avoids it cleanly.
6 runners. Jess could win. Jess could get a podium or win this race at this rate. Anything.
She could, but she does need to make another pit stop, and she's 29 seconds behind Quinn. Another safety car is going to be needed. But I don't think we're going to get another because we've only got 6 drivers, and anyone who's sensible shouldn't crash now. Realistically, you shouldn't crash.
This could be the least amount of drivers finished a race
in JACKOCAR.
in JACKOCAR history.
Yeah, we had very few at Belgium.
Yeah, that one time in Belgium, but I can't. I'm gonna have to find that race because we finished very, very slim there as well. Was that season 2, I believe?
Yeah, I think it was. Was that the one I got incredibly lucky at that I spun?
You won that race, I believe, did you not?
Oh yeah, I did. I didn't spin. It was TC who spun behind me and caused absolute drama. We have a battle on track though. May only have 6 runners. We got a little battle on track. Gareth Hall is on the back of Indecisive, but Gareth does need to make another stop. He's on 10 lap old mediums, and that drive-through penalty that he had to serve for spinning on the Z car has cost him not only a win, but actually, not only a win, and championship lead could have been there as well.
Tell a lie, it was season 1 that race took place. We had 8 finishes, I do believe.
Yeah.
So this has beaten the record in JACKOCAR for the least amount of finishes.
Do you know what's really bad as well? I think we've got the most viewers we've ever had on a stream. That might be because a lot of the drivers who have crashed are now watching, but it's not a good picture. And it doesn't help that there is a driver on the list that crashed on intermediates and everyone else crashed on dry tyres. And it didn't rain.
That's where he gets the first penalty of the evening, as Jacko
Track
says.
limit penalty.
Yeah, track limit penalty. Jacko says in chat as well, you have to finish to score points.
Mm-hmm.
So any driver that does finish this race will score points, and everybody that hasn't will not. So this could drastically change championship order. Jess and Indecisive could shoot themselves into the playoffs. Quinn obviously hoping to secure that spot with the likes of, I'm trying to think who's like Kia, who's down all the way at the bottom. He's probably going to be out of the playoffs now.
No, it's a must-win. It was already a must-win for Kaya, but yeah, they're going to drop like flies. A few more will be on must-win scenarios, especially with strong points for Matt and Jess. They were 10th and 11th in the standings. Niels was not far behind, not far ahead of Matt, by the way, as Gareth makes his final stop. Waze is finally in for his final pit stop. I believe that's a front wing change as well. It's quite slow. It does have a 5-second stop-go penalty as Cloud's fastest man on track, which gets smashed by Quinn, who's in the DRS of Cloud. Cloud does need to make one more pit stop, though, and Quinn is going to the end. He could secure victory here, but he's got to hunt down Indecisive. He's got 9 laps to do so. He's going to have DRS and slipstream of Cloud for quite a while until Cloud feels fit to pit for his final stop on to soft compound tyres. Jess has made a final stop, or did she make a mistake? No, I think Jess has made a mistake. She's lost a lot of time between herself and the rest of the pack.
This race has gone from good to exciting to a 6-horse race, essentially. And was that Cloud in the wall as well? I think Cloud just tapped the wall at the castle section. If he didn't, he got very lucky with the way the car is positioned, because it looked like, for me, on my screen, he'd hit the wall. But Quinn is now ever closer to him, so maybe Quinn now has an opportunity to pass.
Yeah. The thing is, Cloud's tyres are not exactly old. Compared to Quinn's. But Cloud does have to make one more pit stop. So is this worth fighting in Cloud's manner, or just use Quinn to pull him ahead? Because the gap between him and Indecisive is actually closing quite rapidly. So I think at this pace, they will catch Indecisive. Quinn will indefinitely, unless he has a mistake. But to the inside goes Quinn down towards turn 1. Nice and easy move for him. And Cloud drops back to 3rd. However, will get the benefit of DRS. Could challenge him back down towards turn 3. Maybe not something he wants to do. I don't think he's going to try to. Not using any overtake. Gets out the slipstream. Yeah, Cloud's going to hang back and maybe use Quinn's pace to drag him along. because he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to get higher than 5th, which is what he's predicted to get with that extra pit stop. Waze is in a good position for a podium. Gareth has got something to do about it, but he's struggling a little bit on those fresh mediums. Loose out of turn 3.
Yeah, so who is yet to stop? Cloud, like we see, yet to stop. Jess also yet to stop as well. Jess being a little bit further back than a few of these guys. And Gareth has some work to do as well. So when Cloud pits, Cloud will come up between Gareth and Jess.
Yes.
11 laps remaining, just about. And so far, Indecisive is keeping a consistent pace and keeping a consistent lead over Quinn, but Quinn will be hunting him down as Waze is on the back of Cloud and probably going to look to overtake. Cloud is probably going to look to hit very soon.
I wouldn't do it here. Just hang back, Waze. You're going to get slipstream. You're going to get DRS. There's no point chucking it in a wall, chucking both of you in a wall, when there's an opportunity for not only a podium here, Waze, but the win, essentially. You've got the freshest tyres of everyone inside the top 3. And Quinn's not that far ahead. They're catching Indecisive. But you do have a 3-second time penalty, Waze. So, podium, most definitely. Win, potentially. But that 3-second time penalty is not going to help. Quinn's took out another second in a couple of straights.
Yeah, that's. I think this is what Waze has to hope with, because Waze is quick in clean air. We know this. Like, he's bringing that gap down all the time. I think if Quinn catches up to the back of Indecisive and then Waze catches up into the back of these two, it's going to be very close between Waze and Quinn, I think, for this win. But also, that penalty that Waze has really won't help him unless he has more pace, 3 seconds more pace.
Possible. But here's one thing. Quinn needs to get by Indecisive before Waze catches up. That's going to be crucial. Because if Quinn can get the gap between himself and Waze with a car that can hold up Waze for a little bit, and then if Waze is significantly faster on pace because of that penalty, as Jess makes a final pit stop onto the soft tyres, maybe snatch a fastest lap for a playoff point. If Quinn was sensible, maybe let Waze through and you just sit behind him, let him just do all the work. He's got a 3-second time penalty, and there's a potential for a further post-race penalty due to the collision with him and Kamababo into the castle section. Could be, but who am I to judge? What will Quinn do? He's got DRS. How did he get DRS? Waze sets fastest lap. Absolutely flying his Waze on these medium tyres. Here's an opportunity now for Quinn to take the lead of the race down towards turn 3. Slipstream, DRS, using all the overtake he's got. Does Indecisive fight it? He doesn't too much. Later on the brakes goes Quinn in turn 3. Oh, that's very deep and wide by Indecisive. Misses the apex. And now Quinn has got that car between them. But Waze is going to get very aggressive if he can get by Quinn as early as possible. Quinn doesn't even fight it. Doesn't even fight it. Are they teammates? If they are, then
I think Waze and Indecisive are teammates in the championship constructor.
Yeah, possibly. But that's very crucial now. For Indecisive, doesn't fight it, but this is going to be a good position for Indecisive to secure a podium position, because the gap to Gareth is, I don't think Gareth is catching 2 seconds a lap. He might do, because Quinn caught up quite quickly. But I think Indecisive, now that
it takes some doing.
Yeah, now that Indecisive has let the 2 cars that were definitely catching through, he can just take it nice and calm to the end, and it's going to be down to these 2 to fight it out.
He's indeed. Waze has got to get past and then pull a few seconds, well, maybe about 6-7 tenths of a lap if he gets the move done on the next lap to be in with a chance of this win. And if Waze and Indecisive are in Constructors teammates, then they've got a very good haul of points coming their way at the end of this race, providing they both stick with the track limits and finish the race with all 4 wheels.
Yeah, Waze is absolutely flying. He really does have the pace round here. and he's not quite in DRS, but he does have slipstream. But Quinn has more battery and realistically should just keep saving it. Just continue to save. There's no real reason for you to use it until you're either under attack. And even then, I don't think I would. If Waze is going to easily breeze past you into turn 1, let him go. A 3-second time penalty is not worth fighting and getting damage for. Because if you get damage and Waze doesn't, Waze will sail off into the distance and you'll fall back outside the 3-second window.
Waze now has to just sort of manage. He doesn't really have to manage his tyres. He's just got to manage the gap to Quinn because he doesn't want to be too close through the middle sector. The dirty to put him in a wall, but he doesn't want to be miles away. He is within DRS range as it stands, and he's burning that little bit of DRS. They've got similar ERS, Quinn with a little bit more, so it's going to be a relatively fair fight, I think, between these two. We'll see who's got the most downforce. That DRS though will help away significantly as Quinn goes probably a little bit too deep there, and this is where you need the that's where you needed the better exit, because this is where it's going to count down.
He lifted
straight.
Pretty sure Quinn lifted. Not confident is Quinn. This should be easy for Waze. DRS, he's using everything. He's only got a 6% battery, but he's going to have the slipstream, the overspeed. Will this be another fastest lap? It is indeed. Down towards turn 1. Waze takes the lead, but Quinn is going to try and fight it round the outside of turn 1. Doesn't get the position. Should hold back now. Just sit in DRS slipstream. The gap to the car behind is 7 seconds. You have no real reason to fight it, Quinn. This win is yours if you want it. It's sat on a plate. Yours for the taking. Up to you now not to bottle it.
It's true, but remember as well, Quinn's tyres are that little bit older than Waze's. 7 laps for Quinn, 4 laps for Waze. It shouldn't make too much difference in this sense, but if Waze just has that little bit more freshness that he can pull away, then he's got to use it, and he's got to use it now. But could we just I'm just going to give a massive shout out to Indecisive and Jess. Both of them knew what they had to do today, 10th and 11th in the standings, and both of them are so far. Indecisive looking for a penalty and Jess looking for a P6 finish. So
penalty?
Both of them very good.
I wasn't going to say anything. But I thought, when you said penalty, I was like, huh?
Indecisive looking at a podium finish.
There you go.
And Jess looking at a P6, and that again will push them both up in the playoffs. But Wazelock has got out of DRS, so he's pulled away of DRS range of Quinn, and Quinn's going to need to maybe just watch and keep an eye on that gap, because it's now 1.5 seconds in the space of roughly a lap.
Quinn a little bit loose out of the final corner, essentially, but he's using all the DRS to try and get back in. Waze has burnt all his. Realistically, Quinn, I don't think you're going to get back into that 1 second, but your aim now is to not lose another 1.5 seconds, which is what you've done in 1 lap. You've got 3 laps to hang on. Waze is low on ERS, and people say that flashing doesn't mean you're below 10%. Pretty sure that he's now below 10%, and it's flashing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 yeah. That gap, though, between Indecisive and Gareth has started to shrink significantly. It's half of what it was, but Gareth, I don't think, is going to push too much, because there's a P4 on the cards here. If he catches Indecisive, he catches Indecisive, and there's a podium. He's already through, and he's going to capitalise on Splinter's DNF and maybe take the lead of the championship. I'm pretty sure he will. The gap between the two of them was only 10 points. And with 4th place scoring 13 points, good chance for him to take the lead of the championship with 1 round to go. And that is at Belgium.
He's just got to be careful now, Gareth. He has got the pace, and I mean, maybe this is going to look like a last lap run to the line, so Valtteri Bottas, Lance Stroll kind of finish for Gareth Indecisive if they keep it the way it is. If he takes a podium off Indecisive, Indecisive will be gutted, but still happy with that P4 finish. A very good result for him. And Cloud, that second pit stop he made has just put him that little bit far back, so I'm not sure he can do much in terms of answer. But yeah, 2 seconds now is the gap between Indecisive and Gareth. 2.3. It's going up a little bit, but that's a poor exit from Gareth, that's all. And the gap between the two at the front is 2 seconds as we start the penultimate lap.
Yeah, Quinn's lost half a second a lap, and if he continues to do that, he's not going to get this win. He's not going to get this win, and Waze is going to drag himself from 16th, 24 points off a playoff spot is Waze. And with this win, we'll knock out Niels, because Indecisive will score decent points, because Indecisive will overtake Niels. Niels will drop out. I don't think he'll lose. Niels will lose out to Jess. But if Waze wins, Indecisive will overtake Niels, and Niels will be out of the playoffs with 1 round to go.
Which would be absolute heartbreak.
For someone who was in the Championship 5 running last season, you'd think he'd want to try and make back-to-back playoffs. Oh no, he went to the chase, I think. Or did he go playoffs? I don't know, I didn't commentate it. I was engineer.
Yeah, I can't remember either, yeah.
I was engineer. I was your Bono, not your Crofty. Gareth's on the back of Indecisive. The gap between Indecisive and the leaders has actually grown massively. It's nearly a pit stop, or maybe even will be a pit stop. But Quinn's picked up the pace here a little bit. Maybe just giving us a little bit of a... I wonder if Waze would win. Yeah, Neil's chasing. I knew it was in the Champ 5. See, I knew. But... did he slip out as well? Did he?
Oh, Gareth's out. I looked up for a second, and Gareth is he's got on the power a little bit too early, and he's just into the wall. And
that's in the middle of the track. Cloud was very lucky not to hit that.
Indecisive will get a P3 because Gareth was pushing too hard, and Jess is going to get a P5.
I think that might be her best finish in JACKOCAR history. I'm pretty sure she got P6 at that Belgian Grand Prix where there was a lot of finishes, not a lot of finishes. But it just shows that you don't have to be the quickest driver on the grid. You just have to be the most consistent. And at the moment, these 5 drivers are the most consistent of everyone in terms of trying to get it to the end. Gareth may be pushing a little bit too hard to try and get that podium position. 4th place would have given you the lead of the championship. But maybe that playoff point for 3rd. P6 twice. This will be her best result. Yes, I knew it. I knew P6 was her best result. See, this JACKOCAR knowledge is incredible.
Yeah. So this is going to be Jess's best result. It's going to be Quinn's first win of the season. And Waze, unfortunately, will have to give that up with the penalty as they come towards the line. Quinn just sort of stayed within the 2 seconds of Waze, as Waze then across the line will take a P2, P1 on track, but Quinn will win in Baku after this absolutely crazy race we've had in Kia Series at the penultimate round of the main season before our playoffs. Indecisive then up 14 places. He is my driver of the day. From 17th to 3rd, that is a very, very well-deserved podium for him. Cloud, about 7 seconds back, will come home 4th.
The thing is...
and Jess will obviously come 5th, provided she makes it round the track.
Yeah, come on, Jess. We'll edging you on to finish. The thing is, we nominate how many? 4? 4 for driver of the day, usually? I don't think it's fair that we leave someone out. So I think if... we can put it on a poll. If 5 can be... can you put 5 in a poll? I hope
you
so.
You can't, but you can always put one on a thread underneath, so...
yes. So, I don't want someone to miss out on a driver of the day nomination. Pretty much they all deserve it for finishing, even though some of them had a few more incidents than others.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And a little stat here from Jacko as well. Waze, Quinn, Indecisive and Jess is their best results in all the JACKOCAR tiers ever. So, very, very good stuff from there.
Yeah, now, and Quinn Quinn seals his position in the playoffs. He would have done even with a P2. But that gives us 7 different winners from 7 races. Who'd have thought that as Jess finally crosses the line? The word you said crazy, I would say chaotic.
Yeah, I think as well, given the all 5 drivers driver of the day nominees is a very nice thing to do as well, like you say, because they were sensible and finished the race. I mean, Waze did have that incident, but he rectified it himself and he brought himself back. So fair enough to him.
I wouldn't have predicted that podium, to be brutally honest. I don't think anyone would have predicted only 5 finishes. Well, there you have it then. Baku delivers once again. Technically, Gareth has been classified, but he did crash. Will Jacko give it him? I would check that out. But Quinn finally gets a win on the board. 7 races in, and he confirms his place in the playoffs come 2 weeks from now. Waze gets his first and best finishing position of his JACKOCAR career in 2nd, indecisive first podium and best finish of his career in JACKOCAR. There's your podium. Cloud 4th, and your final finisher Jess comes across the line for her best finish in JACKOCAR history. Gareth would have been 6th. Kingjin, Noah, Newgarden, Bill, Yuri, Niels, Karababo, Evil Dragon, Kaya, Bazza and Splinter all did not finish, with Bazza and Splinter not even finishing the first lap. Mental.
Absolutely insane, that race as well. And I mean, pleasure to commentate alongside you once again, but next time let's get a few more drivers across the line at the end.
It is the dreaded Belgium, but I'm pretty sure with the stakes being a little bit higher, we could see some more close racing. It's going to be a little bit of a difficult race for people to watch back, because the first 15 laps or so were all safety car. Or 13 laps were all safety car. I think we got finally green flag winning after we hit halfway. But yeah, next week, Belgium. Chaotic. Hopefully our 8th different winner from 8 races will come about. And hopefully more finishes. I've been your commentator, P9, and joined once again by the my best co-commentator in JACKOCAR history. Sorry, Jacko, but I've not commentated with you, so you can hold 2nd place with that. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in to the Belgian Grand Prix for the first round of the playoffs in JACKOCAR Cup Series on Thursday, and it'll be the final race of the regular season next week here in Kia Series for Belgium as well. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.